the last 6 or 7 weeks been like for you, just kind of waiting to get back on the field?
I mean, to be honest with you, I've been jealous of most of the guys going out there practicing every day. It's tough when you're so close to it, but you can't really go out and do much. So just kind of itching to get out there and do the individual drills and just get back to some sort of football for myself.
Joe, as you guys have struggled the last couple of weeks, particularly with Sam this past week, what's been your assessment of Sam, and what have you been able to do as a veteran, maybe to try to encourage him or however you've handled it?
You can only do so much, and we're in this as a team. And the biggest thing is just taking it one play at a time and focusing on the little things. You can't pay attention to the big picture of it all when you're going through some tough times. You got to focus on the little things, the things that we've been doing our whole life to play successful football. And, listen, I've been through pretty much all situations at this point in terms of wins, losses, in-game adjustments, and all those things. And, he's doing an awesome job of keeping a head on himself and transferring that and getting it corrected. So I like where he's at right now, and just got to keep it going.
Joe, are you going to be the number 2 quarterback on Thursday?
Listen, I'm just kind of getting back to practice. I'm happy to do that and feel like I'm playing football again. But, in terms of me getting back out there, I'm really just doing what I can and then listening to the coaches and the trainers in terms of when they want to actually get me out.
So it sounds like you're going to need a little bit more time. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good, but it's one of those things where, I've taken the time. You don't want to just all of a sudden rush something in the last hour. I've taken the time, and I feel really good, but I want to make sure that I got my feet underneath me and all those other things. And like I said, I mean, as much as I kind of want to make that decision on my own, it's one of those things where you have to rely on some other people sometimes.
Just from the brief time you've been around Sam, do you see the tools in him to be a successful quarterback in this league?
He's really talented. He really is. I mean, he can make all the throws. He's got good feet, good head on his shoulders. It's just about going out there and doing it consistently and playing together as a football team. I mean, in today's world and, really always in the NFL, you often forget that, football is the biggest team sport, in the world. And it takes 22 guys plus a couple more. There's a reason we have 40-some guys up every week. It takes all of them. And we got to do better as a team. Is really what it comes down to.
Joe, with your knowledge of Denver, have you been able to provide some assistance this week, some intel behind the scenes?
That's funny. I mean, I was with him for a year. I've faced Vic before in the past, but it was cool to go up against him in practice and see all the things that he can do and just how good he is at what he does. But a lot of the coaches on our staff have also been with him other places throughout their career. So, I think that they can rely on what they've learned from themselves in the past for the most part.
Joe, you talked about having been in a bunch of different situations. In the situation that Sam is in right now, 0-3, is there a line kind of to walk between not trying to do too much and also just playing his game?
For sure, there is. I mean, listen, when you get down in a football game, if you're out on the schoolyard and you go out there and you just sling it around and whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. But, in this league, things tend to be a little bit different than that. So you just got to keep playing. That's why I said earlier, you got to take it play by play and not try to look at the big picture of the thing, but just focus on the little small details of everything. And that's definitely a tough job. And that's our team. That's him. It's everybody coming together and realizing those things and helping each other out.
Joe, how tough has this rehab process been for you since having the surgery back, was it March or April?
Yeah, the toughest part of it is really just feeling pretty good, but not being able to go out there and play and not being able to go out there and practice. the off season was one thing, but once we got back here for training camp and everybody's doing their thing and throwing footballs and throwing individual routes and running 7-on-7, running team drills, that's where it kind of started to become tough, just because I couldn't take part in that. And when you're so close to the action but not able to really do it, it can be frustrating.